Hey followers, this is your boy, Movie Maker Doug 55. Today I am here with my coach and mentor, actor Andy McPhee, and we have Rhiannon with us. Hi Andy, I'm Doug Kenny. Hi Rhiannon, I'm Doug Kenny. How you doing?
Hey Doug, nice to meet you after 6 years of mentoring you. Thanks for reminding me.
No biggie.
Hi Rhiannon, thanks for joining us,
Hi.
mate.
Thank you so much
all the
for
way
having
from
me.
Australia, right?
Yeah,
You're in
Melbourne.
Yeah, Dougie's in Arizona and I'm in LA. Beautiful sunny LA now. It's summertime.
I'm so
Hey, look,
jealous because it's winter.
I know, because it's really cold there, right?
I'm indoors and I've still got my coat and my beanie.
Oh yeah, I might put the air conditioner on. Hang on a sec. Hey Dougie, I'll hand it back to you, mate, and let's get started with Rhiannon's really interesting story. You know, it's a tough one, but it's interesting. You know, hopefully it'll inspire people and touch some people to whatever may be going on in their world.
Yeah. So Rhiannon, first of all, I'd like to ask you, what's this film that you're working on, this feature film?
The feature film that I'm currently working on is one that I've written along with some help from some very important people. It is based on the true story of a young girl named Laura, who took her own life at 13 due to bullying at school after a trusted friend outed her as gay to everyone. And yeah, it was pretty awful for her. They treated her absolutely awfully. I'm very close with this girl's mother, and so the mother has helped me in writing down everything in the script, word for word. It's called Dear Laura because part of the film is that everyone around her writes her a letter after she's passed away, and the letters from the mother and father are actually written by the mother and father to the real Laura. So we have a lot of realness in this story as well. It is a narrative feature film, so although it's based on the true story and most of the events are true and all of that, it's not a documentary. It is still a feature film narrative, but we've got a lot of the real stuff in there. In many ways, the real stuff when it comes to what happened to this particular young girl, but also what just happens in general when someone ends their life due to bullying or ends their life at all, especially at such a young age. And a lot of Laura's lines and stuff were actually taken straight out of her diary, which was found after she was announced dead.
That's really unbelievable. All I gotta say is, Andy and I are very passionate about anti-bullying, and I do not like what goes on with bullying. Like last week, I saw this post on Facebook from a girl that was scratched all over her face by the people that were bullying her. And I shared it with a lot of my followers, and bullying is really the type of thing that can cause suicide and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's really thanks for sharing, Doug, and thanks, Rhiannon. That's it must have been a tough project to do, really. Like the emotions going through that must have been really hard. Is that, did that come up for you? And I get especially the parents as well and friends who are helping you.
Absolutely. This isn't an easy story to tell, but my filmmaking journey was not about telling the easy stories. It never was. My goal is to make films that make people think and to start a conversation and to reach the young people that are in need. But it has been a very emotional journey, not just for myself, but it has been emotional for myself. A lot of stuff has been quite triggering because of my past, but also for, the young people that are starring in this film, it's been very intense for them. We're very lucky. We have a wonderful on-set psychologist who is always there, but then has also given us lots of really great tools to take home with us from set. She always comes with lots of handouts and stuff like that.
Well, I've got to say, it's a great thing that you had a psychologist on set, because that would be really important to make sure everyone's okay. Because, I mean, when you're telling real life stories and, putting them into film, and it's tough. And look, so what, and you're writing a book too, yeah?
I am writing a book. I'm nearly finished. I'm just kind of putting it all together. It's basically just the book of my life, I guess, and what I've been through, and how I dealt with things, whether they were the correct way to deal with things or not, and just learning that whole experience, I guess, of what's helpful and what's not, and putting my story out there. I don't want to do like the cliche, oh, I've been abused too, but sometimes it's important, to say these things so that other people feel like they can come forward. I'm in a pretty good place with everything that's happened to me. So it's a good time for me to, release my book and be out there. The book is called The Safety of Sunflowers. And yeah, I'm just hoping that with my story, people can, realize that things can, it sounds so lame, but things can get better. And
yeah, of course they can.
It's not you have to be the end all. Just because something awful has happened doesn't mean that that's all that's ever going to be.
Well, that's so true, mate, because we've interviewed so many people on here with different stories that you think, oh my gosh, like, how did they even come through that? But you can. That's what's amazing about the human spirit, And look, I'm sure Doug's got another question which is on my mind now, but I'll let Dougie ask that to us. Doug, do you want to just lead on with the next question, mate?
Yeah, Rhiannon, tell us a little bit of your tragic backstory, because you said that you dealt with being raped.
Yeah, so the first time that I was sexually assaulted, I was about 6 weeks old, I was told. But it continued for a very, very long time until I was about 13. And yeah, I think it's funny because sometimes the biggest moments of that aren't the most painful. Sometimes it's the smaller moments. So there was a lot of different types of sexual assault, but yes, I was raped many times and drugged so that it would be easier to rape me and stuff like that, because I still had I was a feisty little thing. I mean, I was tiny and I didn't really have any business taking on these huge people, but I did. Well, I tried. So yeah, I guess coming to terms with all of that and realizing that it's okay to share my story. For the first however many years it took me, I would be constantly apologizing to whoever I was about to tell my story to, because I didn't want to upset them with it. I didn't want to make anyone feel sorry for me. That's not what I'm after. I don't need sympathy. I think it's more of a empowering thing to share what happened to me and to say, well, you know what, instead of bringing me down, it's lit a fire under me, and here I am today.
Yeah. Hey, Rhiannon, can I ask you just a question there, what you just said?
Of course.
How do people, okay, hang on, I'll rephrase it. Do you get bullied now because of telling your story? Do people still tend to, you know, come on and have a go at you on social media, or do you find there's more empathy and understanding now?
Absolutely, I get bullied. You know, I've got an extensive block list, but it's all the, oh, that could never have happened. You're a liar. You're this. You're that. You know, the lying thing always gets me. You know, you're a liar. You've never known how to tell the truth. It's not a fun time. But you know.
How do you
just got to
deal with
push
that?
those people aside. Look, to be honest, it's hard to take anyone's opinion that doesn't, if the person doesn't mean something to me, then their opinion doesn't either. And I think that that's something really important that I've had to do over the years, is work out who actually you know, is an important influence in my life, and who should have the power to be able to make me think about, you know, things like this. A lot of the time, you know, because my story is so intense, it's not, you know, it wasn't just one event. I wasn't just raped once or anything like that. No one really is keen to believe it, because or because I've suffered mental illness as a result, and PTSD. You know, people are like, oh, well, you're crazy, so you must just be making it up. But it's become easier and easier for me to just, you know, put those people aside, put them in a separate category to, like, the people that I actually would listen to, because you know, you can't please everyone, you never will. And, you know, you've just got to live your own truth. And, you know, it's not important what some people think.
Can I ask you another question? Now, you obviously have proof, you know, documented proof of all these events, but it's not like you have to say to people, oh, no, I've got proof, I can prove it. You don't need to prove anything to anybody, because it's all going to be in your book, and there's people that know what happened to you, and and your story is not about any of the perpetrators, because people get dealt with. This is about you, your pain, how you got through it, and hopefully sharing with others.
Exactly.
You know how to get through it. So it's like, I know someone would have asked a question, what happened to the person? Well, this is not about that. That's another world of story, which, you know.
It's not about them. This is about me.
That's right.
And what I've been through. Yes, you know, I've been through stuff because of this person, but why give them any more power? Why, you know, none of this is about them. My book is about me, and it's about helping other people like me. It's not about them. It's not.
And look, eventually they get taken care of anyway. Like you can't.
Karma comes around.
Yeah, you can't do things in life and not have a consequence. The consequence will always be there. And if you just, what you're doing is be there for other people, deal with, you know, you have a little bit of shield of armor around you with the people who want to throw crap at you, but you just keep going. You know, like Doug here, new people to this series watching us may not know a lot about his story. It's on one of the earlier episodes, but Doug was, you know, he's dealing with high functioning autism. No, he can't fit in the workforce at the moment. And since I've been mentoring Doug, he's been a champion and a soldier and a warrior, because he's just dealt with everything and kept going. And like, he was dealing with, you know, weight. He's down to 195 pounds now from 320. He's writing a book on his diet and journey. We're doing that together. He's a team leader of a creative arts group we created for social media, which I created then I hand over to other people. And Doug's the team leader. He created the website, all the advertising. And I said to Doug, look, don't worry, mate. I said, one day you'll start working from home. Well, no sooner did we say that 8 months ago, he has now 6 clients who he's getting paid for to do their social media work. So nothing's impossible. And what we do is not about us. It's about sharing stories of people who someone out there is like, oh, wow, yeah, that's awesome. And then, you know, we're not here to tell people what to do. It's sharing stories. We always say get professional help. Just go to professionals and get the help you need. But this is telling you that there is help out there and people can break through whatever they've been through. And that's true, Doug, right? Especially, you know, like your journey now is just like, wow, man, that you've gone past the light at the end of the tunnel. You're out of the tunnel and looking at the mountains and the ocean, mate, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely looking at the mountains and the ocean with what I've lived through. And I'm journaling them. Everything that I'm doing, I'm blogging and writing about and journaling on the seashore, which you can see right here.
Well, look, Rhiannon, that's really awesome. And we don't want to take too much away, because what we're going to do is be bringing you on a panel where we're talking about bullying, suicide, awareness, prevention. And we will bring you back again, right? Because it's a long story, but also we want to, you know, once your book's out, guide people to that as well so they can go read that. But look, definitely let's get you back on again, and we'll have a little bit more of a chat, and then we'll also let viewers know too when we've got this panel of amazing people on board talking about, you know, bullying, suicide, the repercussions of that, of people left behind, and we also have people who've survived. And then their view is like, wow, mind-blowing, you know?
Yeah, I remember when I first had one of my suicide attempts, I remember it quite clearly, but I remember dying quite clearly and then coming back. And it was intense, to say the least.
Yeah.
You know, and it's kind of shown me that, you know, I'm meant to be here. I have a job to do, and you know, there are people that will benefit from, you know, listening to what I've been through, or listening to you know, what I have to say about you know, certain things, especially you know, the anti-suicide and anti-bullying movements and stuff. I've been working on that for years, you know, and yeah, I think, you know, with this film, hopefully we can start some conversations, and with my book, hopefully I can make some people realize that they're not alone, because a lot of people with stories like mine are way too scared to come forward with it, whether it's because they can't prove it or because they're worried about the repercussions.
Well, they don't need to prove anything. Yeah, they don't need to prove anything. It's just come and share your story, because it's going to help somebody else, you know?
Exactly.
And that's the whole point of, you know, connecting up with people like yourself and all these other amazing people we have on, you know, sharing their stories. But look, we have run out of time, so I'll hand it back to Doug. But hey, Rhiannon, awesome. And yeah, good on you for, you know, what you're doing and standing up for in your book. But we're going to get you back on, and we're also going to get you on this panel that we're going to hopefully have in a couple of weeks with all these other people, amazing people on there, which we hope will be, you know, a huge, you know, 45 minutes of people sharing and offering, you know, help if they can. And when I say help, in the way of like where to go for help, or the 2 CEOs we have of their mental health organizations offering what they give people, you know, where to seek help in Australia or in America if they're here. And that's just sharing can help people come out of their shells. So that's what we hope to achieve out of this. But thanks, Rhiannon. I really
thank you so much for having me, you guys.
Yeah. Well, thanks, mate. We appreciate you, and Dougie, appreciate you. You can take us out, mate.
Yeah. I want to thank you guys for appearing on the show, and everybody check us out at Spark, whose link is right here. And we'll see you next time on Being Relentless and Unstoppable.